Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Biology for All. In this video, I'm going to talk about nerve impulse conduction. Nerve impulse conduction refers to the movement of the impulse along the axon. Here I'm drawing a neuron, and we know that the neuron is capable of detecting and receiving the stimulus and passing it to the next neuron. So it receives the stimulus through the dendrite and then it conducts it along the axon to move to the next neuron. So here we are going to see the changes that happens in the axon when a nerve impulse is passing through it. Now, this is the axon when there is no impulse passing through it. So, the axon shows change in the polarity. That is, there is a difference in the charge in the inside of the axon and the outside of the axon. Now, this is due to the presence of negatively charged proteins, potassium ions, and sodium ions inside the axon, whereas outside there is more of potassium and less of sodium. So this creates in the intracellular fluid a negative charge. So this is negatively charged in the inside of the axon, and the extracellular fluid or ECF is positively charged. Now, this difference in polarity is around negative 70 millivolts. So, if you measure it, you will be able to get a negative 70 millivolts, and this is called as the resting membrane potential, and the condition is said to be polarized. So, this is the polarized state of the neuron, and this is when the neuron is in resting potential or when there is no impulse passing. Now, this happens due to three channels that are present in the membrane. There are sodium channels which are normally closed and they open only when there is a specific charge level which is reached there. So, if the charge is at a particular threshold level, then it opens. So, it is called as the voltage gated channel. There are potassium channels which are normally open and allow potassium ions to move freely. So this allows a free movement of the potassium ions whenever there is any difference in the polarity. Now, other than this, there are sodium potassium pumps. So the sodium potassium pumps work by active transport, so they require energy, and here they push out three sodium ions outside from the inside of the axon and bring in two potassium ions. This is necessary at the time of repolarization, that is when the cell has to come back to a resting membrane potential. So now let us see what happens when an impulse arrives at the axon. So what changes happens here? We are going to see that. Now here I am drawing again the structure of the axon. So this is the resting membrane potential, and when an impulse arrives at a particular point here, that causes the sodium channels to open. So these sodium channels open when there is a specific level of the polarity that is there or a charge that comes. Now when these channel opens, the sodium ions which are outside the cell, they start to rush inside. So there is such a large rush of sodium ions that moves inside that it results in a change in polarity at that specific location. So this specific site here where the sodium channels had opened, this particular site, let us say it is site A, here the entire structure becomes oppositely charged. That means it becomes positive inside and negative outside. So this condition is now called as depolarized state. The earlier condition, what we talked was polarized. So now because there is a reversal here, this is called as depolarized state, and this is now the action potential or the nerve impulse. Now this nerve impulse will move further ahead. So how does that happen? Now we know that at this site A, there was a rush of sodium ions, and because of that, it had become depolarized. So the adjacent channels, that is the sodium channels nearby the ones which had opened, they also now get stimulated and they also open up further. So it is like one channel which gets open, it stimulates the next one, and then it stimulates the next. So in that way, it goes on ahead further in the form of movement of the impulse. So thus, what now happens is that from the site A, the impulse has now moved further to site B. So here now the sodium channels in site B have opened, and that caused the rush of sodium inside, because of which now B becomes depolarized. So now what is happening in A? So when B is becoming depolarized, the site A is undergoing repolarization. We have seen that during resting potential, the membrane is polarized. When the action potential arrives, it becomes depolarized. Here we are going to see what is repolarization. So let me draw the axon once more here, and in the same situation where we see that the impulse has moved from site A to site B. So site A, where the impulse has moved to site B, is now undergoing repolarization. Site A has more of sodium ions which had moved inside. Because of the impulse which had come in, sodium ions had come inside, and that caused the potassium ions to move out. This created a negative inside and positive outside in the site A. But this is not the resting potential, because according to the resting potential, we need to have more potassium inside and more sodium outside. So now we have to push the sodium outside. This is done by the sodium potassium pump. So in the site A now, the sodium potassium starts to work, where they push out three sodium ions. So three sodium ions from inside moves out and two potassium enters inside. This causes a change again, where there will be now more sodium outside. Thus, this part now restores the resting membrane potential. Let us now have a look at the electrical activity that happens during the nerve impulse conduction. So here, this is a graphical representation, that is, in the form of graph, we can put up the changes that happens in the electrical activity. The y-axis shows millivolts and the x-axis shows the milliseconds. Now 70, that is minus 70, is the resting potential. This resting potential is actually between a negative 40 to a negative 90, with an average of negative 70 millivolts. For an action potential to be generated, there has to be a threshold for opening the sodium channels, which is negative 55 millivolts. After that, the depolarization process begins, and it reaches to positive 30, and that positive 30 is the action potential or the actual nerve impulse. Then it starts to move down, where the reversal in polarity happens and repolarization happens. Now, this repolarization can then lead to hyperpolarization. This is because there are some potassium channels which remain open for a longer time, so that the potassium starts to move in such a way that it creates a difference of more than negative 70. Let us now have a look at the conduction of impulse in different types of neurons. On the basis of presence or absence of myelin sheath, there are two types of neurons. One is non-myelinated, that is without a myelin sheath. In this type of a neuron, the conduction is said to be continuous conduction. Whereas in the neuron where there is presence of myelin sheath, that is called as myelinated neurons. So here the axons show the presence of Schwann cells with the covering of the myelin sheath. These myelin sheaths have gaps in between, which are the nodes of Ranvier. So the impulse in this case moves from one node of Ranvier to the other one, and this type of conduction of nerve impulse is called as the saltatory conduction.